Hi, I'm Lucy, the face behind Duffy's Craft Days, and today I'm going to show you how you can work a cable cast on for your knitted projects. What you'll end up with, if I can just show you, is this sort of rope effect at the beginning of your work. That swatch has been done with just a normal bind off, but what I'm also going to show you is how you can mirror. So on this one you can see we've got that cable cast on, and I've mirrored it with a sort of rope effect bind off as well. So I'm going to show you both of those. If you just want to see the bind off, you can skip towards the end of the video. Some of the projects that you might want this for could be maybe a bag, a washcloth, anything really that you don't want to have too stretchy a cast on. So there's a little bit of stretch to it, but not a lot. So anything that you want a bit of firmness to at the beginning of your work. So let's crack on. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is some yarn. I'm using Paintbox Simply Chunky in the colour Paper White. You'll want some knitting needles. You don't need double pointed needles. I'm just using them because they're a bit shorter than standard. And then you'll want some scissors for cutting your yarn at the end. So the first thing we need to do is create a slip knot. There are multiple ways of doing it. I just wrap it around my fingers like so, and then just pull that first one through. I'm not sure if I made sense then. So wrapping it around two fingers away from you, and then you pull the second crossover through the first, like so, and then you can just use whichever end you like to just pull that to the right tension. Okay, so our first stitch is going to be done as a normal knit stitch would be done. So it's just insert your needle, yarn around through the middle, and then draw it up as if you were going to knit, but you're actually going to then pull that back onto your first needle, so your left hand needle, like so. So that's just a normal knit cast on, but from here on in it gets a little bit different. So we then go in between the two stitches that you now have on that left needle, and we again wrap our yarn around through the middle. We pull that loop up with the point of our right hand needle, like so, and then we take our left needle and we are going to go through the back of that loop that you just created, and then pull our yarn, not too tightly because you want to be able to get your right needle back through. And we're going to just repeat that process. So again, in through the last two stitches that you created, yarn around and pull up that loop like so, and then we take our left needle and we go into the back of that loop, and that's basically what we do all the way along, and that will create that twisted rope effect that we're after. So it's that action of going through the back there that just creates this twist. So I'll just do a couple more of those. I don't want to do too many because then I'm going to work a couple of rows before showing you how to do the bind off. So I've just got 6 stitches on there. That should, I think, be enough. You can do any amount of stitches, so it doesn't matter whether you need an odd number or an even number for casting on. This style of cast on will work. Okay, so I'm just going to now work in stocking stitch, stockinette stitch, however you say it in your area. And so we'll do a knit row, followed by a purl row. If you don't know how to do a knit stitch or a purl stitch, I do have other videos on YouTube that demonstrate those stitches, so I will link those below in the description. So now we're just going to work a purl row, and I'm just going to do a couple of these, and then I will show you how to mirror that cable or rope style when we do our cast off. So as I said, you can use this cast on for lots of projects really. It may not be ideal for things that you want a stretch to, so sort of tops of socks or hats, that kind of thing, brim of hats, because it isn't as stretchy as some of the other types of cast on. So I'll just do another row in purl, and then I will do that cast off. So you can probably work out why I prefer the shorter needles. Sometimes I use circular needles when I'm doing these videos. It's because the longer needles are constantly hitting the table. So it's just easier from that perspective. Okay, so we're going to do a normal cast off for the first stitch. So we're going to knit 2. And then we're going to pass that slip stitch over that one, slip stitch, first stitch. And then what we're going to do is we are going to go into the back of the one that is left on your right needle. From the front, work into the back of that and slip it across to your left needle. And then we're going to go in again from the back, brain into gear, but on the other side. So if you hold your needle towards you like this, you're going in from the back on the right side of the stitch and pass it back over. We're then going to knit our next stitch and pass over that first stitch like so, and then again we go in through the back from the front with our left needle, and then through the back again back onto the right hand needle, and then we'll do another stitch, and again we're just going to pass that one over. So we're just slipping each stitch back across, but we're going in from behind that stitch, once from the front, once from the back, and then we do our ordinary bind off. So knit the next stitch, pass that one over, and then that same process again. So we're going in from the back of that loop, sliding it back onto the left needle, and then from the back sliding it back across to the right, and then we'll knit that last stitch and pass that one over. I'm hoping this is going to be a sort of big enough swatch for you to be able to see, and then we would just cut our yarn and pull it through as normal. So hopefully you can see that we've got that nice rope effect cast on, and we've then mirrored it with this bind off. Obviously the bigger the project you're working on, the more obvious that becomes. I've worked with a white yarn because it tends to be easier to see the stitch definition. So hopefully you can see that. Perhaps it wasn't the best idea with a white background, but hopefully you can see that nice rope effect cast on. That's your cable cast on, and then we've mirrored that with a kind of cable bind off as well. I'm not sure. I think my tension went a bit awry on that one, so it's gone a bit wonky, but hopefully you can see that effect. I think it's just because I haven't finished it properly. But yeah, so there you go, cable cast on and a mirrored bind off there, a cable bind off to mirror the cable cast on. So hopefully you found that useful. If you did and you want to see more of my tutorials, then please hit subscribe below and hit that like button as well. And as I say, I will link to those videos that show the different stitches as well in the description below. Thank you for watching.